That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
This is the next thing, man. We wrapping up last couple of things, you know what I mean? Apparently, the U.S. Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, she does not know about the 1921 Tulsa race massacre, and she doesn't know about Ruby Bridges. I will look into it and get back to you. This has got 1.1 million views.
I have a few other examples that I would like your thoughts on, simple yes or no. If this is a legal DEI, an example, would you say that it would be an illegal DEI for a lesson plan on the Tulsa race massacre?
I'd have to get back to you on that.
Do you know what the Tulsa race massacre is?
I'd like to look into it more and get back to you on it.
Okay, so I look forward to that. How about the book Through My Eyes by Ruby Bridges, for instance?
I haven't read that.
Have you learned about Ruby Bridges?
If you have specific examples you'd like
That
to
was a
cite,
specific example.
I'll be very happy.
It was an
for you-
incredibly
for
specific
you
example.
to submit
I named
those
a
in your
specific book.
questions, and I will look into it and get back to you on
Thank
them.
you. I have a few other examples that I
How you gonna say get out the education of Black history and everything like that for people to understand the dynamics of why racism and division or whatever exists within, it's particularly in America. I can't speak for the other countries. I know it exists in other countries and things of that sort, but I can only speak for America's because this is where I'm from. This is where I spent 97% of my life. The other were like week-long in the Caribbean cruises and things like that. So you know what I mean? So for someone who spent most of his life, majority of his life in America, learning the history of, because it's one thing to be like, oh, why do we have to learn about this? Well, you should learn about it to even make the judgment of why it was important to learn it. It's ironic. It's just like you need the base level types of things to know what's going on, to know what's currently going on. You need to know the past to know the present, and of course to see where the future's going, because nothing is new under the sun. Patterns just repeat themselves, things of that sort. So W Press right here by Miss Lee. But the Secretary of Education, shame on you, to be honest, to not know these basic American history stories and facts and things of that sort. And shame on all of y'all for trying to get rid of this curriculum, woke curriculum, whatever you want to call it. Shame on y'all for trying to get rid of it, because now we just have a bunch of people, oh, this ain't got nothing to do with race. This ain't got, and you'll think nothing has nothing to do with anything if you don't learn about it. So you have to sit down and learn about something to understand why something is something. You have to sit down and learn about something to understand why racism is real, racism exists. This particular topic and the way that people are discussing it goes through a racial lens. And it's not just, dang, you always making everything about race. Learn something. Learn about the history of things. Learn about the history of, speak to some people, bro, and say, why are you like this? Instead of just, man, you always anti-cop, you always anti this, anti that. Ask the person why they're like that. One-on-one. And let them explain to you the history, the traumas that people go through. I've had this experience. My homeboy had this experience. My cousin went through this experience. My brother, my sister, my mother, my stepmother, they all went through these experiences. My aunties, my uncles, they went through these experiences. And I think based off of all of that, with my 30 years or however old you are, years of knowledge, I've come to the conclusion that I'd rather just not be affiliated with them, because ABC. You need to know the history of something to understand why someone acts the way they act. Because if you don't just go up and ask and talk to a person like a person, I speak to people all different walks of life. You guys see on the channel who I interview. I interview dancers. I interview OF models. I interview stars of a particular industry. I interview national politicians. I interview White House administrators. I interview athletes, underground artists, mainstream artists. I interview all of them, because it's like, and the more I like interview more people, billionaires, millionaires, and all of these things, businessmen. The more I learn, it's like we are all the same. Humans are all the same. But you don't know that if you don't speak to people and ask them, why are you this way? How did you become this? What was the steps like? What was this almost like? What's one misconception about you? What when people don't know about you? All these things, bro, you learn somebody's story and you just like, dang, they literally just 1-2 decisions off from where I'm at. And this is why it's important to teach kids in school about Black history and particular things so they understand what people mean when they say that's racist and why that's racist. They should learn about minstrel shows. They should learn about blackface. They should learn about tap dancing, and they should learn about when you at the feet and make them dance and things of that sort, and why that was offensive to Black people. They should learn why watermelon is offensive to Black people. They should learn why fried chicken's a harmful stereotype for Black people. All of these things they should learn, bro. Because if you don't learn it, then you just think Black people tripping all the time. And you get what? Black fatigue. Next thing. Hold on. Where are we looking at?
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
Brandon,
We
one quick
can't
question.
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.